Hello, my name is Yassine Sarah, and this is my comparative strategic plan analysis on Zachary Community Schools and South Milwaukee School District. Uh, Zachary Community School District is located in Zachary, Louisiana. Their focus is mainly on academic achievement and effective efficiency, and this strategic plan laid out the years between 2025 and 2030. The South Milwaukee School District is located in South Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It mainly focuses on inclusion, engagement, equity, and the strategic plans is between 2024 and 2029. This is a layout and a comparison table of the mission, vision, and core values. The main things I pulled out of their comparison was when I looked at Zachary, they were more academic, achievement driven versus Milwaukee, who is more equity, and having belonging and whole child development. Zachary was also more concise on performance driven, while Milwaukee is more descriptive and student centered language. Uh, the key differences I saw in their mission, vision, and core values was that Zachary was achievement driven and South Milwaukee more wanted everybody to be included. They wanted everybody to have that same opportunity, and it was more student based instead of achievement based. The use of data, I'm a big data person. I'm a big person in data. I think we in Louisiana may base some of our data driven stuff on EBR based on LEAP scores, AP scores, graduation rates. I know that's big when we're looking at school scores. While South Milwaukee had more broader data sources, they used state report cards, literacy, and math rates. The stakeholders are limited when you're talking about data with Zachary, who can see the data, who works with the data, and South Milwaukee made it provided it for everybody, which is student, staff, faculty, and surveys. Um, Zachary used more annual targets all the way up to 200. I mean 2030, and South Milwaukee engagement, academic, and culture data. So the key insights with Zachary was more performance outcomes, and South Milwaukee was more of a school effectiveness. The communication plans, whenever you looked at Zachary, it was more structured. They had a clear accountability and timelines in their communication plans, while South Milwaukee more emphasized on relationships and engagement. Um, but they did have a strong community involvement, which I know Zachary does as well. But South Milwaukee made sure they emphasized that. I think the key differences is more of a formal system versus being a relatable system, engagement model where you're in the community or with the students, and it's more student centered. I think that the strengths for Zachary was what I noticed was strong academics. They had a clear system and they're very transparent. The weaknesses was they had limited equity focus. It was more on reaching goals, achieving goals instead of student centered. Um, they had weaker employee wellnesses. So those are things that I did put in my recommendations. So with Zachary and the recommendations, I said they can expand equality metrics, move from general equity goals to trackable indicators to identify gaps early, and then they can measure whether they should do the interventions, actually reduce them. So you get data back from that. Also, where it says employee wellness was the weakness, I said they can improve employee wellness, which will help with retainment. It helps with teacher burnout once it gets to that spring semester, and also it's more stable staffing, knowing who you have from the previous years. So that will help as an educational leader, knowing what your expectations are from your teachers. With South Milwaukee, their strengths was they were across the board very student centered. Equity was very strong with them. They had a strong culture and they were engagement focused. They wanted students to be involved. The weakness was this less detailed academic matrix and also weaker implementation structure. So where I went to my recommendations for South Milwaukee, I told them they can increase more performance tracking. That gives them real-time instruction data, whether they need to make adjustments. It's faster identifications on who's getting it and who's not. Maybe the students need to be scaffolded, or maybe need to be grouped into the ones who get it, the one that don't get it, the one that need extra help, the ones that kind of are ready to move on. So I think using performance tracking would help Milwaukee. Also, expanding their instructional technology and innovation. I think they're a little behind on that when reading through the policies. This will help the students um, move forward with things like artificial intelligence. Instead of just replacing everything, they can build on stuff that they're already familiar with. And I think that's key, is not just to go in and replace or tell a teacher you need to change everything. It's more working with what they do know, what their strengths are. What can we do to help improve that? My overall analysis on the two districts, I think that they're both highly effective plans, but you can see that two successful districts are with two different plans can both be successful. There's not just one plan for a district. It's not just one format, one template that works across the board. It's kind of finding what works best for you. Zachary was strong in their academic accountability, their operational system, and South Milwaukee was strong with their inclusion, their stakeholder engagement, and their equity. So if you bring kind of those two together, find a nice median. I feel like that would be a successful school, but not just one template works for everybody, and then these two plans show that. They both align resource with student success goals. So overall, it's always about the students. It's always about students reaching their goals and aligning that. Okay, thank you.